Yo, Trades by Easel here. So my buddy dropped a video last night and it really got me to thinking. His video was basically, are we maximizing our profits? Are we maximizing our trading time? Are we doing the right things that we should be doing? And it's kind of it struck me because I started thinking, I really haven't back tested in probably two to 3 months. And it's embarrassing, but that's just the truth of the matter. So I'm asking myself, how are we doing? How am I doing in trading? My current P&L for the first month, from the 3rd to the 21st, is $1,300, just shy. I trade a simple, stupid strategy called an orb. It's a five. I take the 5 minute candle orb, the high and the low of the first 5 minute candles, and we take the first 1 minute fair value gap on the break of the higher low of that orb. Stupid simple. Can't mess it up, which I thought, but we're gonna go through it. Our stop loss is always going to be just below or above the second of the three candle formation, and we're going to always target 2 to 1. So this is such a simple thing. Like if you were to give somebody a list of rules and say, do this, elementary kid could do it. Like stupid simple. So, I was like, okay, well, how am I doing? Let's take a look at it. I know what I've done, and I'm going to take the time to go through this month because I wanted to know. So this is kind of what I came up with. First of all, we had 15 trading days in November. Again, we're taking this simple strategy here. And if I just did one trade only, get in, set my stops, my target, walked away. Out of these 15 days, we would have had 8 winning days, which gave us a profit of $4,000. 7 of these 15 trading days would have been losses, so we would have lost 1,750. The risk would be $250. My max daily loss is $250. 2 to 1, we would then take profit at 500. That would give us $2,250 on November's first 15 trading days. Why in the world is this number different than this number? What is going on here? So after I saw that, I was like, okay, what is going on? Trade management, over trading, managing, stops and moving things around and adjusting things and having bias and me being like, oh, well, the London low's here, so it's not going to go past it. All of that stuff, trade management. $1,300, 2,250. Dramatically different. So I was like, okay, let's take a look at things. Let's get some notes going here. 2 out of the 7 of these losing days, they were good trades. Just price failed to reach the 2 to 1 target. So, I said, okay, what can I do if I want to do any management? What can I do? Well, as soon as price hits 1 to 1, I could have moved to stop to break even. I mean, I would have been up $250, and at least I can do is move my stop to break even instead of losing another 250 on top of the winning 250. So that's one thing I could have done. If I want to manage, this should have been the only management going on. So, I was like, okay, well, what are my issues in trading? And I'll be honest with you, over trading. It's really hard to get into a trade in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes and then you're done for the day. So, I've gotten to the point where, I'll take 2 trades a day. I would risk 125, and that would give me 2 shots. So I broke those numbers down. Out of the 7 losing days, if I took the second trade, 4 out of the 7, I would have had 2 losses on the day. 2 out of the 7, I would have had a recovery, 2 wins. So right there, and we'll go through this one real quick. There was one that was not available. Price just shot me out and took off, and I never got an option to enter again. So 4 out of the 6 days here, I would have hit max loss. I asked myself, does it make sense to enter a second trade? If you were to tell somebody, like, listen, you 4 out of the 6 times you enter again, you're going to lose, would you enter? Probably not. See, I was so focused on having green days that I never stopped and looked at this. The trading isn't about butterflies and rainbows all the time. And unfortunately, when you have losing days, your emotions get, hurt, and you feel like you're a loser. In reality, if I would have told myself, if I would have seen the outcome here, if I had 6 shots to make that green day, to make that red day a green day, but 4 out of the 6, you were going to lose more money, would I have taken it? Highly doubtful. This right here told me everything I needed to know. I am so happy my buddy made that video. Shout out to Slothfather Trading. Because, I got so complacent in the orb strategy because it's such a simple strategy. I think, oh, I know what to do. I don't need to back test. And right here is a perfect example why we need to continue to back test, why we need to continue to look at things. Markets change, markets move. The next month, these numbers can be completely different. I do know moving forward, every month, I will dedicate some time to go through the entire month and do the same thing I did for these first 15 days. Now, granted, this is only 15 days. I want to do several months, but I needed a start, and this is my start. So, when you start breaking things down, and I realized that basically I left $1,000 on the table because of one thing: managing my trade. Well, and over trading too. I'm so happy he made that video. I've traded several different strategies. And for me and my work schedule, I get about 15, 20 minutes before I gotta leave. I'm in a truck and I drive for 15, 20 minutes, and I'm out for 15, 20 minutes, back and forth pretty much all day long. So I do get periods where I can look at the chart for 2 to 3 minutes. So this strategy for me works the best. Not every day do I get to enter my trade before I have to leave, but often enough that I get to enter the trade before I'm on the road, and it's really hard to manage things when you're in and out of a vehicle. So this strategy works for me. It may not be one of these strategies that have all these bells and whistles where you have to wait for price to break buy side, come back down, invert a fair value gap, take the inversion. It's simple. This works for me. What doesn't work for me is when I look at my current P&L of $1,300 and very, very blessed. To look at this as profit instead of loss or break even, I will never forget this. This is amazing to me. But when I look at this number and I look at this number and I tell myself, like, why? Why is this so important? Why is this so important that I'm willing to give $1,000 of unrealized gains because I need to manage this? Because I need to enter 2 trades? No, absolutely not. This isn't rocket science. This right here is the best information I could have stumbled across right here. You have 6 opportunities, and someone tells you 4 of those opportunities you're going to lose. What in the world was I doing here? I'm going to adjust this. I'm going to have my max daily loss always remain at $250. I will now enter with a risk of $250. I don't care if the fair value gap is, this big or this big. I will downsize and upsize to whatever I need to do to make sure that I'm maximizing my potential. Doesn't mean every trade's going to win, but my winners clearly outdid my losing. 7 out of the 15 days I lost and 8 I won. Like that's not like a some, 70-80% winning strategy, but $2,250 is good enough for me. I mean, when you copy trade 4 accounts, that's good enough for me. I can't wait for Monday. I know next week is a holiday. I know price action, around holidays isn't the best. So there's one thing that I know for certain is this is where I'm going. I'm going to one trade only. I'm going to continue with my strategy. I'm going to muster through the tough times because it works. I know it works. I was questioning myself if it was the best to do right now. And maybe it's not the best time to trade this, but this number right here is perfectly fine with me. I'm perfectly fine losing 7 out of 15 trading days as long as this number right here is showing me that, hey, in 15 days you made over 2 grand. Absolutely, I'm fine with that. One thing about me is I'm a cold turkey kind of guy. I don't ease into things. I'm a light switch, on or off. Doesn't matter what it is in life, I've always been that way, on or off. When I turn this light switch to one trade only, I need to prepare myself. So I don't know if Monday's going to be the day. I'm going to spend this week and I'm really going to just look at this. And I want to refine myself to the acceptance of this. It's really hard for me because I enjoy trading so much. I love it. I love looking at the charts. I love it all. But when you've got, 10, 15 minutes and your trade happens and you enter and then you're done, that's where I think I'm going to have a struggle. So when I turn this switch to one trade only, I need to make sure that I'm mentally prepared. I'm not somebody who likes to get on a practice account and click buttons. It's hard for me to go into a practice account and enter trades because I know at this point it's meaningless. I can see number go up, I can see number go down. It doesn't matter. There's no tangible to it. Like I said, I appreciate my buddy Slothfather for dropping that video. I'm more embarrassed that I haven't been looking at this. I got so complacent. And don't ever get complacent. I know moving forward what I can work on and what I can fix. And that's the stuff that I've always tried to focus on is what can I do different? What can I fix? And this is an easy fix. Take this equation out. Trash that equation. We don't need that. Gone. I take one trade a day, win or lose. It's okay. Become the best loser. If you've watched any trading psychology videos, they're all going to go back to one thing: become the best loser. Every strategy is going to lose. Accept the loss and move on. That is something that I'm going to embrace. And when I have a personal lockout of $250, it doesn't matter about my emotional state. When you have a self lockout when you hit $250, it doesn't matter my emotional state. It doesn't matter if I feel that I'm right or I have to be right or my ego's involved or I'm afraid that I'm going to be a loser because I lost that day. Personal lockout will always be the greatest thing you can add to your trading. If you're not using max daily loss, put it on. You will be surprised at the outcome. There has not been one opportunity to go tilt since I put that on. You take it out of the equation. It's done. It's over. So if I've already accepted that I'm going to lose $250, it should be pretty easy to accept that you're going to put that $250 on one trade a day and this is your potential. Maybe the rest of November, because of being a holiday next week, it doesn't turn out the greatest. That's okay. Trading's not meant to be a consistent thing. It changes, it evolves. Our goal is to be consistent. We use probability to become consistent, but the market's never going to be one thing. It's never just going to sit there and flatline. It's just not. The market's always going to have different times when it's up and it's going down, and we're going to go up and then it's going to fake you out, and the market's just never going to be this constant line. It's going to have ups, it's going to have downs. We're going to have periods where we're just struggling. And during these struggles, we have to be consistent with our strategies. It doesn't matter what we're working on. We got to be consistent with it. Regardless, win, lose, or break even, we'll be here Monday. You guys enjoy your weekend. Take care.